So if you've ever found yourself listening to a piece of music, maybe a sea shanty or that deep groove in a blues track, and
Hmm.
you've just thought, wow, that rhythm has this amazing rolling feel, then you've actually stumbled onto a really cool secret in music.
You really have. We're going to talk about that today. It's all about something called compound time signatures.
Which sounds complicated.
It sounds it, but the idea is actually pretty simple. See, you're probably used to simple time, like 44, where the main beat you tap your foot to splits into two, one and two and.
Right.
Compound time just flips that. The main idea is that the pulse, the main beat, is divided into three equal parts, and that's what gives it that swing, that bounce.
And there's a really easy way to spot it, right? Like a visual cheat code on the page.
Exactly. Just look at the time signature. If that top number is a 6, a 9, or a 12,
Hmm.
it's almost definitely a compound meter. That's your first clue.
Okay, so let's get into why those numbers mean what they mean. It all starts with the kind of note we're using for the main beat, right?
It does. In compound time, the primary beat, that slow, strong pulse you feel, is a dotted quarter note.
Okay, hold on. A lot of us know what a quarter note is, but what's the dot actually doing there? It's not just for looks, I'm guessing.
No, not at all. It's the engine of the whole system. So a normal quarter note is worth 2/8 notes.
Got it.
The rule for the dot is that it adds half the note's original value. So half of quarter note is 1/8 note.
So you take the original 2/8, add one more, and you get 3.
You get 3. Exactly. The dotted quarter note is basically 3/8 notes all tied together.
Ah, so that's why every beat naturally breaks down into 3 parts. It's built right into the note itself.
Precisely. In 44 time, your beat is a quarter note. It divides 1, 2. In 68, the beat is a dotted quarter note, and it divides 1, 2, 3. That one little change completely alters the feel of the music.
Okay, let's look at the numbers in the time signature then. How do they help us count this stuff?
Right. So that fraction you see, the bottom number tells you what kind of note we're counting as the subdivision.
And in compound time, that's usually an 8 for eighth notes.
Yeah, in 68, 98, 128, it's almost always an 8. You could have others, but 8 is the standard. It's our basic unit.
And the top number.
That's just the total count. It tells you how many of those little eighth notes fit into one single measure.
Okay, but here's the cool math trick you were talking
Well,
about.
this is the best part. You take that top number 6, 9, or 12 and just divide it by 3.
Okay.
The answer tells you how many main beats are in the measure. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. That means 68 has 2 main beats.
9 divided by 3 is 3 beats.
And 12 divided by 3 is 4 beats. That one simple calculation tells you the whole feel of the piece before you even play a note.
That's a great shortcut. So let's dive into those, starting with the most common one, 68 time.
Okay, 68, so we just did the math. 6 divided by 3 is 2. It's a compound duple meter, which means it has 2 main pulses.
Right. So even though we count out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to keep it even, our foot is really only tapping twice.
Exactly. The big accents are on beat 1 and beat 4. The whole thing moves in these little groups of 3. It's got this really energetic, driving feel.
This is where you find a lot of sea shanties and Irish jigs and things like that.
For sure. Anything that needs that constant forward momentum, it's a swing, not a stomp.
Okay, this brings up the thing that confuses everyone at first, the difference between 68 and 34.
Ah, the classic question.
Yeah, because they both have 6/8 notes in a measure if you do the math. So what's the difference in how they're played?
It all comes down to the accents, where the strong beats are. In 34 time, that's a simple meter. You feel 3 strong beats. 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2. That's your waltz.
Okay.
In 68, you only feel 2 strong pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a totally different groove. If you played a jig with a 34 accent, it would just fall apart. It
Oh.
wouldn't have that drive.
The feel is everything. Okay, so if 68 is that driving 2-beat feel, what happens with 98 time?
So with 98, we now have 3 main beats. It's compound triple. The accents fall on beats 1, 4, and 7.
And what kind of feel does that create?
It's often a bit more flowing, a little less grounded than 68. It can create this gentle, swaying kind of movement.
I imagine it's pretty tough to play. Keeping 9 subdivisions perfectly even sounds like a challenge.
It is. The measure is long, so it's easy to rush or drag if you're not locked in. It gives the music room to breathe, so you see in classical music or more complex folk, where a composer wants a bigger, more expansive feel.
And that leads us to the biggest one, 128 time. 4 beats. It's the compound version of 44.
Yeah, and 128 is huge, especially in popular music. The strong beats are on 1, 4, 7, and 10.
So what's the advantage of 128?
You get the heavy, steady feel of 4 beats, but you still have that triplet bounce underneath everything. This is the rhythmic bedrock for so much Shuffle blues, gospel, classic rock ballads.
Right, so if you're listening to a slow, heavy rock song with that kind of relaxed, rolling groove.
It's very often 128. It feels less frantic than 68 because the main beats are further apart. It gives the internal triplets room to just roll along.
A 44 beat is sharp, but 128 is more like a wave.
That's a great way to put it. It gives the music this deep, soulful foundation. If you played a blues shuffle with straight eighth notes, like in 44, it would instantly lose all its character.
So we've got the feel down. How does the sheet music itself help a musician read this? What are the visual clues?
The visual shorthand is super important, especially for reading it quickly. It's called beaming.
Okay, what's that?
It's how the notes are grouped together. In compound time, the eighth notes are almost always connected or beamed in groups of three.
Ah, so when you see 3/8 notes with a bar connecting their stems, your brain immediately says that's one beat.
Exactly. It's a map. It visually shows you where each main pulse is. If they were all beamed differently, the page would be a total mess and really hard to read.
And within those 3-note groups, composers mix it up, right? It's not always just 3 identical eighth notes.
Oh, absolutely not. That's where the rhythmic interest comes from. One of the most common patterns you'll see is a quarter note followed by an eighth note.
Let's break that down.
So the quarter note takes up the first two parts of the beat, the first two eighth notes,
Mm-hmm.
and the single eighth note fills the last part.
So instead of an even 1, 2, 3, you get a long, short rhythm.
Right. It creates that galloping feel you hear in a lot of jigs. Da-da, da-da-da.
You can also just have one single dotted quarter note for the whole beat.
Yep. For a longer held note. Or you could do the opposite and fill the beat with 16th notes for a really fast burst of sound. Learning to recognize these little patterns is key to reading it fluently.
And if you're in an orchestra or band, the conductor helps you out too.
The conductor's patterns are a lifesaver. They only show the main pulses, not all the little subdivisions. So for 68, a conductor just uses a 2-beat pattern, down up. It simplifies everything.
And for 98?
A 3-beat pattern, usually a triangle shape. And for 128, it's the standard 4-beat pattern you'd see in 44. It visually confirms the math we did earlier.
Okay, so this is all great theory, but for someone at home practicing, trying to really feel this 3-part division, what are some practical tips to make it stick?
The metronome is your best friend, but you have to use it in a couple of different ways.
How so?
First, to get the overall feel, set it really slow so it only clicks on the main beat, the dotted quarter note pulse.
So in 68, it would only click twice per measure.
Exactly. This trains your body to feel the main groove without getting bogged down by the details.
But what if your subdivisions are sloppy?
That's when you use the second technique. You set the metronome to click on every single eighth note.
Whoa, that would be fast. 6 clicks per measure in 68.
It is, but it forces you to be precise. It makes sure every one of your notes inside the beat is perfectly even. Once you can do that, you go back to the slow clicks.
What about non-tech methods? Just counting out loud.
Counting out loud is essential, but sometimes 1 and a 2 in it can get a bit confusing. So there's another trick.
Okay.
Use 3-syllable words.
Ah, this is the strawberry or pineapple trick.
That's the one. If you say strawberry or pineapple out loud, the syllables are naturally even. You can say those words over and over while you play.
Pineapple, pineapple. Yeah, that lines up perfectly with the 2 main beats in 68.
It takes the math out of your head and puts the rhythm into your body. It makes it feel intuitive, which is the goal.
So mastering this really opens up a whole new world of music you can play.
It absolutely does. We're talking about everything from old Baroque dances to Irish folk music to the entire foundation of blues and jazz. It just gives you a much richer musical vocabulary.
So now that you know what to listen for, try to find some music that switches between these meters. You'll hear songs jump from a straight 44 into a rolling 128. Feeling that shift from a 2-part division to a 3-part one really helps it all click into place.
Keep practicing that triple feel. Look for those groups of 3 notes on the page, and you'll find a whole new layer of rhythm in the music you love.